So spring is often a time when people are thinking about spring cleaning, but also decluttering their homes, so reducing the volume of items that are in their homes. But in my field as a professional organizer, I often hear that people are struggling with this process. They're getting stuck, or they have difficulty following through or maintaining it. And I'm often hearing that they have myths about organizing or decluttering that I think are getting them stuck. So I think there are some things about decluttering that could probably help people get unstuck so that they can be successful. So one, and maybe not so popular at this time of year, is that it actually doesn't need to be done in the springtime. So when the weather's warmer, people think, oh, I'm going to have more energy, I'm going to get this done, but they'd actually prefer to be playing outside and enjoying the weather, so it never gets accomplished. And unless somebody lives a truly minimalist lifestyle, decluttering actually needs to happen sort of all year round, every year. The other thing is that people often confuse decluttering and organizing. So lots of people call me, they say, I want to get my home organized. And I go to their home, and actually a lot of what needs to be done is the decluttering process. So removing a lot of items from their home. And that decluttering always needs to happen before the organizing can happen. Otherwise, you're just sort of sorting and storing items that aren't meaningful to you. The other piece that people don't realize is that decluttering and organizing are actually skills that can be learned. Some people think, well, I'm just a disorganized person, or I can't let anything go, so they don't even bother trying. But these are, I kind of like to think of them as like muscles that can be strengthened over time, and they can learn these skills. And so I encourage people to generally, just like with exercising, to start with easier items rather than jumping to decluttering sentimental items that are probably going to be harder for them. The other thing that I find is that mindset can be really important in terms of being successful at decluttering. So 2 mindset shifts that I tend to work on with my clients is, one, letting go of perfection. People often have this beautiful, ideal kind of picture in their mind about what their space can look like. And usually that's not achievable, so they don't bother trying. So letting go of that and focusing on progress instead of perfection can be really helpful. And the other piece is that people, when they're decluttering, they think about just the purging or the letting go process. And I try to encourage people to instead flip that a little bit and focus instead on intentionally choosing what they're keeping in their home, what brings them value. And the last piece, because a lot of people struggle with maintaining it, is thinking about our consumption or our purchasing behavior. And a low clutter home can only be maintained if people are changing their consumption habits and just bringing less things into their home.